Have you ever felt like the world just isn't listening? Like you have a story to tell, but no one is there to hear it? Well, today, I want to share a tale that will redefine your understanding of persistence. A story about a man who couldn't see the world, but made the world see him. This is the incredible journey of Shakil Badami. Our story begins on the bustling, chaotic streets of Karachi, Pakistan. Amidst the symphony of honking rickshaws and street vendors, a man named Shakil Badami navigated his world in complete darkness. Shakil was blind, and to most, he was just another beggar, making his way through crowded buses and local trains, his hand outstretched. But Shakil was different. He wasn't just asking for alms. He was offering a piece of his soul. Clutched tightly in his other hand was his most prized possession, a simple white book. This book, titled The Carmelina Story, was his own creation. A love story, penned in the beautiful, flowing script of Urdu. He wasn't asking for much, just for Anusa, nearly forgotten coin, a pittance. He was selling a dream for pocket change. Imagine the scene. A man who cannot see, trying to sell a story written in a language many might not read, on the very streets where he begs to survive. The city, in its relentless pace, often rushed past him. He couldn't see the indifferent faces, but he could feel the hurried footsteps, the collective sigh of a city too busy to stop for a story. Day after day, he would offer his book, his voice a quiet melody in the urban noise, more often met with silence than the clink of a coin. Yet Shakil's spirit was anything but broken. His hands never tired of holding out his book, and his heart never lost its fervent desire to share the love he had so carefully woven into its pages. He knew the Carmelina story was a seed, and it deserved fertile ground to grow. The streets of Karachi, as dear as they were, felt too confined. A restless longing began to stir within him. He dreamed of a world beyond the familiar sounds and smells of his home. So, with a courage that is hard to comprehend, Shakil Badami decided to do the unthinkable. With little more than the clothes on his back and a stack of his cherished books, he set out to travel the world. His mission remained the same: to beg for his survival and to sell his story. His first stop was Iran. A new land, a new culture, a new language. The melodious Farsi spoken around him was a beautiful but indecipherable stream of sound. How do you sell an Urdu love story to people who don't speak the language? How do you even explain what you're holding? The language barrier was a formidable wall, yet Shakil persisted. He could unsee the intricate patterns on the Persian carpets or the vibrant colors of the spice markets, but he could feel the pulse of this new place. And where his words failed, the universal language of human kindness sometimes prevailed. Strangers, moved by this blind man with a book, would guide him through the winding alleys, their hands on his arm a gentle assurance. From Iran, his journey took him to Turkey. Istanbul, the city where East meets West, with its majestic mosques and bustling grand bazaar. The call to prayer was a familiar comfort, but the Turkish language was another towering obstacle. Again, he stood on unfamiliar streets, holding out the Carmelina story. The sales were non-existent. Each day was a struggle, a masterclass in rejection. But for Shakil, every no, every confused glance wasn't a defeat. It was simply a sign that he hadn't found the right place yet. His resolve didn't just hold. It hardened like steel tempered in the fire of adversity. His journey then took him into the heart of Europe, a continent of 1,000 different languages and cultures. Imagine Shakil, a blind man from Pakistan, navigating the metros of Paris, the canals of Venice, the squares of Rome. He was a solitary figure carrying a story from a world away. Convincing people to buy his Urdu tale, even for a few cents, was an almost impossible task. It was a silent pantomime of gestures, holding up the book, pointing to the price, his hopeful expression the only thing bridging the vast linguistic divide. He faced cold, hunger, and the profound loneliness of being utterly alien. There were surely moments of deep despair, moments when the weight of the world must have felt unbearable. But Shakil's inner vision was locked on his goal. He wasn't just begging for money. He was on a quest to give his story a home. And then he arrived in Germany. In this land of precision and order, something incredible happened. Shakil Badami, the blind beggar from Karachi, found his audience. Perhaps it was the growing South Asian diaspora, or maybe it was simply the sheer, undeniable power of his persistence that finally broke through. People started noticing. They started buying. The story of the blind man who had traveled across continents to sell his self-written book began to spread. He was no longer just a beggar. He became a local legend. His success wasn't just about selling books. It was about the triumph of the human spirit. He settled in Germany, a place so far and so different from where he started, and he had done it on his own terms. Shakil Badami's story is a powerful testament to the idea that our limitations do not define our destiny. He was blind, but he had a vision clearer than most. He couldn't see the path, so he forged his own, step by step, country by country. He started with a dream worth for Anna's and turned it into a life of purpose and success. His journey teaches us that no barrier, not blindness, not language, not poverty, is insurmountable when fueled by an unwavering belief in your own story. So next time you feel like the world isn't listening, remember Shakil Badami. Remember the blind man who crossed the world just to be heard. Thank you so much for watching and for letting me share this incredible story with you. If it moved you, please consider hitting that like button and subscribing for more tales of inspiration. Until next time, keep sharing your story.